Red, red wine goes to my head.
This is what a true tasting is all about.
This is high-tech light maneuvers. Yeah. It's hot as hell. Does that get a little more light back there?
Absolutely. So this is Norm Hardie of Norm Hardie Wines, and we're going to taste what today?
The 09 County Pinot. So about a month ago, I was tasting through, and we did some very intensive bench trials, which gave us a representative look at, if we put all our barrels together, where the wine would be. And they're all in 225s, so smaller barrels, mixture of about 40%, 35-40% new, 30% second fill, and 30% third fill. And through the tasting at the end, we sort of determined that this is about where we wanted the wine to be. So the question is, do we take it out of small barrels and put it into stainless steel, where for a month and a half it's not going to get the natural micro-ox until we're ready to bottle it, or an alternative route? And what we found is we had our Cab Franc in 500-liter neutral barrels, so not giving a lot of wood, but just neutral, nice large vessels, which being wood would give us good natural micro-ox, which we need. And the Cab Franc hadn't taken on the wood that we thought it would have from the 500s, and it just needed a little more oak, a little more rounding, a little more structure. So we took all the County Pinot out of the 225s, put it in a tank, then took the Cab Franc from the 500s into the 225s, and then the County Pinot that we had now sitting in tank all went into the Cab Franc, into the neutral barrels. So being in the neutral barrels is not going to take on any oak, but it's just going to give that natural micro-ox, which I believe at this stage is crucial for its development. So this section will be coming out of the barrel of the 500s sometime next week, and then we'll be bottling up a few weeks later. So it won't spend a lot of time in stainless steel. Just a nice amount of time for it to settle. We don't want to filter this here. Once again, the wines are very stable, so we don't feel it's necessary to filter. So we'll give it a good 2 weeks in the big tanks to settle nicely. When we take it out of the 500s as well, we'll rack it nice and clean so we don't bring in any sediment. Okay. Which will also help with the settling process.
So you're going to cheat today and take a little bit out?
Well, yeah. So instead of normally when I do a barrel tasting, try to get a feel of where the vintage is, I'm going to a number of different barrels. But because it's already homogeneous now, it's quite easy. I can just go to one 500-liter barrel, and that is indicative of what's in all the other 500-liter barrels. So
cool.
So anyhow, there we go.
What do you think of that, Del?
Oh, that's great.
No.
Yeah, the light's not great on this one.
It's not great there.
But that's okay.
You're getting some.
You know what? If you actually take the shadow off the wall, it works really well.
Oh, that'll be cool.
Yeah, and then stand back this way.
Yeah, that's right.
Look. And then we can come into some natural light so we can actually see what it looks like. Always looks a lot darker in the sun. From a color perspective, I'm actually not looking at the color. I know what the color looks like. It's more a stability standpoint to see how clear it is.
Right.
And the wine is perfectly clear.
Yeah.
And the best way to evaluate all that is actually like a natural light as opposed to incandescent light, which doesn't show the color or the clarity nearly as well.
Oh, look at that. Oh, wow. That looks great. Oh, it's got some really nice fruit there.
Because
And this is being bottled when?
sometime late August,
Oh, that's nice.
early September.
That is smooth.
That is-
Yeah, it's
that
got
is
this
great.
really nice balance of grapefruit and opulence, and
It does.
then there's this little nice tightness of tannin
Yes.
which sort of knits it all together.
Yeah, just a small amount of tannin.
We'll find also when we rack it, I like to have actually this amount of tannin, because when we rack it, you do lose a little bit of the tannin as well.
Do you?
You don't lose it, but it's just that little bit of air.
Right.
Helps polymerize the tannins, so it softens it. Doesn't take any of the tannins away, but it just helps soften them a little bit. So this is exactly where we want it
Wow.
to
That is an amazing.
That's a winner?
That's a winner. That's definitely a winner. That's great.
be. So I'm sorry?